An Employable Me digital exclusive.
Shauna is still unsure of what career would suit her strengths. So today she is meeting with autism therapist Dory Zenner.
Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects 1 in 66 Canadians, and it impacts the way an individual perceives and interacts with the world. Hi, Shauna. Why don't you take a seat on the couch?
Okay, thanks.
There's a phrase, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. And spectrum affects how autism impacts each person individually. You can have a person who's highly verbal, very accomplished in their career, and yet really struggles to get through the day because of sensory overload or having difficulties interacting with others. And yet you can have someone who's non-speaking who might write, children's books and be able to take care of all their daily needs. So today we're going to talk a little bit just about you, getting to know you, some of the things you're excited about, what some of your hopes are, and then specifically around work. So what do you like to do with your friends?
With my friends, we talk about this game that we play. It's like a RPG, which is role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, except we don't have like the board and the thing. And we're not using dice. So basically, we take on the roles of these characters and we sword fight. It's pretty fun. Right? It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but with no board, and we just beat each other with foam swords.
So this is something you do when you're with your friends
Well,
face to face?
when we're in person,
Yeah.
we all like pull out the swords and we can sword fight.
And this is what you guys connect over?
Yeah.
And I heard that actually you're really into craft and that you even make your own swords. Is
Yes,
that
I
right?
did. I have swords, a battle axe, a flail, and the flail is probably my favorite. It's this foam ball with duct tape and cardboard spikes on it, and there's like an orange stripe in between where the spikes are, so it looks really cool.
Can you actually hit a person with that?
Yeah, I
thing?
can. And
It doesn't break?
No, but you gotta be careful, right?
Yeah. Shauna really excels at things that are very hands-on and visual, and I think that would be a tremendous strength to any kind of work environment where she has to build something, make something. Sounds like you really enjoy working with your hands.
Yes, I definitely
Do you
do.
want to find a job where you're working with your hands
Yes,
as well?
I definitely would like a job that's hands-on, right? Yeah, I'm not afraid to get dirty or anything like that.
Nice.
Right? Tech industry jobs would be like, my mind would be mush by the end of the day because of how stressed I would be, right? So like working in an office job, I'd probably be like very unmotivated. But like something like construction, for example, I could probably end up being very motivated, right? Like I'm good with physically demanding stuff. I don't have a problem with that. But when it's mentally demanding, I'm like, nope, not dealing with that.
What are you hoping how life would be a bit different for you if you were able to find a job that was just the right fit?
Well, if I get a job, I'm hoping to be able to eventually live on my own and live comfortably, not just barely scraping by, but actually be able to live on my own and have stuff that I like, right? Not that big into shopping, so it's not. I just want to be able to live comfortably, right?
So I would suggest that she has an opportunity to really lay out what her interests are based on her strengths and her past experience, and maybe go in and have a chance to shadow some of those businesses, see what a day-to-day is like there. And she also understands her limits. She doesn't want something where she's going to be taxed mentally or overly stressed. She wants to save those resources for her fun time. For her, work is about having something to do, having something to accomplish, earn a living. I could tell you're an experiential learner. You really like to learn as you go, and you like to be immersed in something to figure out if you like it or not. So I know you talked about construction, you talked about hair design, you talked about working with sheet metal, and you talked about arts and crafts. Wouldn't it be wonderful if there's an opportunity for you to have some kind of apprenticeship program where you're learning and being immersed in those different roles to see which one is best for you? What do you think of something like that? Not an academic environment per se, but more learning about the trades themselves.
Yeah, that sounds good actually. Yeah, again, like you said, as long as it's not too academic, I think I could easily do something like that.
I think what would be ideal for Shauna is to be a part of a mentorship or an apprenticeship program where someone can take her under their wing, teach her very closely how to do the job, and give her a chance to try it and see if she really enjoys it. Well, thanks again for coming in today. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap up?
No, not that I can think of.
I know she's so interested in doing a good job, and by having that one-on-one learning opportunity, she'll really be able to pick up quickly what the skills are and be able to do her best.
Stream episodes of Employable Me Season 4 at AMI.ca or on the AMI TV app.